Hello world of YouTube. Back on March 25th of this year, the Foo Fighters lost their longtime drummer Taylor Hawkins, a drummer who I thought was always a very talented musician. The guy could carry a groove so incredibly well while keeping the drums as big as they needed to be for a band whose sound was to the scale of the Foo Fighters. He was a big influence to me as well. Hell, one of the first songs I learned in the batches of songs I learned when I was learning to play the drums was a Foo Fighters jam. And today I wanted to pay tribute to Taylor but to the Foo Fighters as a collective band as a whole by taking a look at my favorite music videos that the band has pulled together. And the reason why I'm doing it over, say, like a favorite songs video is because while the Foo Fighters do have a catalog of really great tunes, and I feel like they have some really good albums under their belt, they are as much a visual band as they are an audio band. Their videos have always been a core component of the band as a whole. Hell, they just did a whole-ass movie earlier this year alone.
He does make a killer barbecue.
Now, that's not to say that I don't like the songs that these videos are made for, but if I were making a list of my favorite Foo Fighter songs, sure, some of them would be on here, but some of them would also not even be close to my favorite Foo Fighter songs. They just have really good videos attached to them. So I wanted to take a look at the videos that I've always enjoyed from the band by and large, and this list was actually kind of hard to make because, like I said, the Foo Fighters have made a catalog of great music videos, something that they still do to this day. And if you want to see some honorable mentions, I do have them listed out in the description, but without further ado, let's go ahead and get going. The Foo Fighters videos are kind of split into two different camps. There's the one where the band are playing for most of the video, and there's some where there's like a narrative aspect to it that the band is really playing up. And usually a lot of my favorite videos, and even ones that didn't end up on this list, have a mixture of the two. There are a couple spots where it is heavily one or heavily the other. And Run is very much in Camp A. It's a simple setup, but it's one that sticks the landing fantastically. It's the band playing in old makeup because, hey, they're old now. This came off of their 9th album with a bunch of actors in old people makeup, and they just lose their shit once the song starts. The song itself is really good, and the song's primal nature does act as a good juxtaposition to the video's old people imagery. It's just a fun video where the band is throwing down with one of their more razor-sharp tracks that showed that they still had some bite even in this old age. This is the only video that's going to be on this list that doesn't have Taylor in it, and that wasn't intentional. I did want to keep it here because I do think it is one of the Foo Fighters' best videos, though. It's off of the debut album, and it's a jab at the Mentos commercial craze that was happening in the 90s, and I think that it's hilarious. I love that all of these situations just get sort of washed away the minute the person pops a Futos, the Fresh Fighter. It's just a fun-ass 90s as hell video. The way that it's shot is very reminiscent of the commercials. It's a very on-the-nose parody, and it's still got some low-budget twinges that suit from it being from the band's debut album. Like the shot of Dave crossing the limo and just looking at the camera. By and large, I think this video is great, and I think it's a fun song as well, easily one of my favorite Foo Fighters jams, but the video itself is iconic. The Futos thing is easily one of the most iconic things of the band's whole career to me personally. Don't wanna be a monkey and I guess I could just say this up front, all of the band performance videos I enjoy because they are just the band performing, but a lot of the set design or a lot of the conscious choices from the video directors make it a great way to present the band, because Monkey Wrench is another simple-ass concept just done incredibly well. Dave Grohl is just trying to come home with some groceries when his apartment is locked, and when he tries to get inside of it, another version of himself and the band are playing the song in his apartment, and you get to look through the peephole at the band playing the song and seeing the POV from the band outside the peephole of them trying to look inside. And as the video continues, more of the members start to show up until they eventually break the door down and take over for the band to finish out the tune while the shadow Foo Fighters disappear into the night. Very simple concept, but a great way to showcase the intensity and energy in the song with its fisheye lens aesthetic. I think it sticks the landing perfectly. An example of a song that I don't like quite as much getting a video that I think is very well done, Long Road to Ruin is an okay Foo Fighters song. But its soap opera style video with Rashida Jones and Dave Grohl's will they won't they relationship just makes me laugh every time. The amount of times Dave Grohl does a crying face throughout the video is hilarious. I love the band's costumes in here. The overall way that they ham it up in a soap opera style, not just Dave, but Rashida and the rest of the band. I think it kind of fits the dramatics of the song incredibly well, ironically enough, too. And I feel like it's a video that wouldn't be for any other song but that. But I think it's a testament to, even at this point in their career where I wasn't loving everything they were doing, creatively in pockets they were still making some stuff that I think was quality.
Learning to walk again. I believe I've waited.
While not the only music video I can think of off the top of my head that does pay homage to Joel Schumacher's Falling Down, I like Walk, and I think that it's a fun, abridged version of a pretty serious movie from the 90s. It hits the beats, just like every other homage to it does, very well, and I think that the band play it straight fantastically. Again, similarly to Long Road to Ruin, I like the costume design here. I like that they tried to bring their own spin to what the movie has going on, and I think Dave's building rage is executed fantastically. And I like that at the end he still gets arrested and gets his comeuppance when trying to just rehearse with the band at the end of the song. And I think that it's a fun sort of subversion to the themes from the song itself as well. The song is supposed to be this empowering jam, and while he's still learning to walk again, it's under this deep-seated rage that the character from Falling Down also faced.
What if I say I'm not like the others? What if I say I'm not just another one in your place?
While this music video is so well shot, the color choice, the wardrobe design in contrast with the color choice, and the imagery of the band playing in front of a building Riot Squad is fine enough, it wouldn't have ended up on this list, especially not at this part, if it weren't for the final chorus. When it actually all hits the fan, it's great imagery, and I think the casting crew as a whole shot it incredibly well. Again, this is a well-shot music video. Out of all the music videos on here, I think it is the one with the cleanest look to it by and large. And I feel like it fits, you know, this song is full of explosive choruses, but the conscious decision to wait and just let it build throughout this song of building up before exploding at the end was a very good choice, and I feel like the band themselves killed it full stop. A video that feels like it was just filmed by a bunch of friends, something that the album Wasting Light sort of feels like from a recording perspective. It was just sort of all recorded in Dave's garage, and it's got a little bit of everything. It's got the white limo, it's got the band in goofy costumes, it's got Lemmy driving the limo. It's got its own cheesy stuff like the band all looking at the camera when the scream is going on. I really like the cop sweatshirt. I think it's a hilarious image of Dave Grohl in some shorts and a cop sweatshirt just vibing with his friends. While there are shots of the band playing in the video, similarly to Walk, it's not why I like this video. It just happens to be a byproduct of what the video builds to. It's just all around embodies what I feel like the vibe of the record that it's on has. And again, sort of a classic video with its own laughable moments in it.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
And the video in the number 4 spot, My Hero, is a pretty impressive video when it comes to how it was constructed. It wasn't all filmed in one take, but it was edited and shot in a way to try to replicate that style, with the narrative being a man trying to save this woman's baby and dog and a picture from a burning house while the band is playing inside of the burning house, and he moves around them while he's moving around this house. And I think that the camera work is really well done, and again, it's a good way of presenting the band while also showing something else, something that I think that, again, a lot of the best Foo Fighters videos do excellently. I think that the set design is fantastic. I think the band is placed incredibly well throughout the video, and even that moment when the song is building back up and you have the guy going back before the woman calls him back and says, "I love you," before the explosive bridge happens. So good. I love the way that this video is paced, and I think that it's shot incredibly well. And again, similarly to a lot of the stuff that's in the top 3 spots, as far as music videos go in general, I think that this is a well-constructed music video.
It's a shame we have to die, my dear. No one's getting out of here.
A bit of an underrated video and song from the Foo Fighters catalog, DOA, is again, similarly to videos like Monkey Wrench and Run, very simple in concept, but executed so very well. You have the band in this box sort of spinning because this hamster that's in a wheel is running, and they're sort of attached together like a bicycle chain, and the band's spinning while they play, while Taylor Hawkins, in this other random box on a bench, is spinning and sort of trying to hold on and grab on a train. And eventually, yeah, Taylor ends up on the train, but it's just a fun, quirky video concept that I feel like the band sort of didn't have to go this hard at creating a cool, quirky, simple idea, but executing it so very well. I think it's a fun video. I think that it's a good video for this song. I think the momentum of the song carries throughout the video very well, and it's always one that I loved seeing whenever it came on Fuse or MTV2 back in the day.
I've waited here for you. Everlong.
Now, a lot of people tote Everlong to be the Foo Fighters' best music video, and I could see the argument being made for it. I mean, Michel Gondry's imaginative vision that he puts on anything he does is presented in full spades in the Everlong video. I love the morphing hands of Dave Grohl. I love the set design as a whole, like the giant telephone is a great touch. I obviously love the Evil Dead homage in Taylor Hawkins' Nightmare, where he plays the damsel in distress in the relationship where Dave is trying to save her from her nightmares while waking up from his perpetually throughout the night. I like the touch of the bridging of the dream world and the real world through the telephone multiple times. And while I don't think it necessarily melds the band playing with the narrative presentation it's trying to do, I think that the whole rewinding of the song so that the band can play the final chorus is a touch that the band does do a lot throughout a lot of their videos, done at its best on here. I think that the melting away of the set, you know, even just the touch of the bed falling away to Taylor's drums is a really good touch. And again, I think kind of sort of lends itself to presenting Michel Gondry's For Sure vision full stop. I think that it's a whimsical video, it's a very surreal video, and it fits the song incredibly well too. I think a lot of the drum strikes and guitar strikes when he's hitting or when Taylor Hawkins is hitting is a great touch. The shot of them walking while Taylor's still tied to the chair is hilarious to me. And yeah, I understand why people think it's the best Foo Fighters video, and it is one of my favorite Foo Fighters songs, but it's neither of those things. But my favorite Foo Fighters song does in fact have my favorite Foo Fighters video. Learn to Fly is a bop. And I love the music video for this. Similarly to Everlong, I think it's just a fun video with a lot of good visual gags that crop up in it. Is it as artful as Everlong? No. But I still like the presentation of it nonetheless. A spoof on the movie Airplane or airplane comedies in general, with the band playing as all the passengers, whether it's a couple or a girl who's a big fan of the Foo Fighters, or the flight attendants and pilots themselves. Really the only non-Foo Fighters people in the video are Tenacious D, who play these two janitors on the plane who hide drugs on the plane that then drug everybody but the band themselves, and the band has to save the plane while the band is playing the song in the in-flight movie. Again, it's a great melding of them playing the song with a fun narrative happening in the background, and I think, again, it's a great marriage of the two. I enjoy how goofy the video is by its building into its climax. I think that the band hams it up in all the best ways, and again, it's easily my favorite Foo Fighters song, and I think that the video in tandem with that is a good presentation of the song itself. The band needs to learn to fly to save the day, and they do, and it's a fun, goofy video, and it's easily my favorite Foo Fighters video. But that's my list. What do you think of these Foo Fighters music videos? Do you like them? Do you not? Let me know your favorite Foo Fighters music videos in the comments down below. If you did like this video, be sure to give it a like. If you want to see more of my music, gaming, and general nerdery content, be sure to subscribe. Special thanks to my patrons if you want to join the ranks to get early access to content, exclusive content, or to help drive the community. It's linked in the description. My monthly playlist, which is a bit more of an aggressively tinged one, just went live today. It's got stuff like Death Grips and Idols and Converge and Soul Glow on it. It's a lot of intensity that's laid in the hardcore, punk, and industrial adjacent side of music. But either way, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you again so very much for watching. I have been Viral Rack. You guys have good days, lives, and situations, and I'll see you another day.